saying tonight?
What the Iranians are saying, according to the IRGC, is that this morning, and it's very early in the morning here, courageous fighters of the IRGC's Air Force launched a successful operation called Operation Martyr Soleimani with the code Al-Zahra by firing tens of ground-to-ground missiles at the base of the terrorist and invasive U.S. forces. And Zarif today, the foreign minister, did tell me that as soon as Iran made a retaliatory attack, they would tell the world. They would claim credit for it. It would not be through proxies, David.
And Martha, we should point out that this action was taken mere hours after millions took to the streets in Iran, and after part of the funeral procession that we witnessed in the last 24 hours was actually halted because of a deadly stampede. The sheer number of people who turned out to honor Iran's top commander.
They had 3 days of mourning here. There was a stampede today because the body was taken back to Soleimani's hometown. More than 50 people reported dead in that stampede. But there is so much emotion, as we have talked about, so much grief here, but so much anger, people calling for revenge over and over again. And that is something the Iranian officials had to balance, Zarif had to balance, the military had to balance, to appease the population for the loss of Soleimani, but not push it too far. They don't want an all-out war either, no matter what they're saying here, and saying that the U.S. committed an act of war and an act of terrorism, and that they have to pay the price. No one here seems to want an all-out conflict.
And Martha, as we took note during your interview earlier today, the foreign minister telling Martha that they would deliberate, that they would take their time, they would deliberate significantly before taking action. But as we're reporting on the air tonight, Iran has taken action firing ballistic missiles at Al-Assad air base that's in Anbar province in Iraq, in western Iraq. In fact, that they fired a number of ballistic missiles in retaliation for the deadly strike ordered by President Trump on Iran's top commander. We have learned tonight that President Trump has been briefed, and we'll have more on that in just a moment.
ABC News, straightforward.
I'm Amy Raddatz from ABC News Live in Tehran. We spoke today to Iran's foreign minister, Zarif, told us one-on-one, looking straight at us, of the threat that the U.S. now faces. I just heard you say the U.S. will receive the definitive, resolute response
No
to
one
its
can
brazen
hide
criminal
from my
act in a
sight.
place and at a time it hurts most. What do you mean by that?
Well, I mean that Iran is a very patient country. We will take our action after necessary deliberation, but I'm sure that it will be taken at the time of our choosing, not the time of the United States choosing. The United States committed 3 great mistakes, and they will pay for all 3 mistakes. First mistake was they violated Chapter 17 and territorial integrity. And because of that, they received a response from the Iraqi State Council that agreed, which the United States had already violated.
Team up for special attack.
Second, they helped the motion of a large number of people from India to Russia, not to mention Iran and Iraq. The package of agreement, I think, will be the end of U.S. presence, and that would be a very high price to pay for the adventurism of a couple of people.
I saw the...
Third,
Excuse me.
Third, they killed and claimed responsibility for murder in a terrorist operation are one of our highest ranks in foreign territory.
30 seconds.
For protecting the lives of the citizens and it's only after that we will respond. We will not, our action will not be disproportionate, like the United States, who has claimed it will respond in a disproportionate manner. It's a war crime. It has threatened to use force against Iran, which is a violation of the UN Charter. It has threatened to destroy cultural sites, which is a war crime. This is in addition to the fact that Secretary Bush some time ago said, if Iran wants its people to eat, it will have to obey us. That's a crime against humanity.
Mr. Foreign Minister, there are reports that your supreme leader said it must be a direct proportional response carried out in peace. Does that mean Iran will acknowledge whatever happens next?
Once we do it, yes, we will. We don't carry cowardly acts of terror like we do.
So you will immediately say Iran is responsible for whatever this action is?
When we do it, we will announce it.
Will Iran take U.S. civilians off its target list?
Well, you see, Iran has never put U.S. civilians on its target list to take them off its target list. We obey international law. It's the United States that doesn't obey international law and claims that it will carry out disproportionate response against cultural sites.
That makes me think clearly they will be U.S. military targets.
That's what our military people have said, but that's a decision that we will make at the appropriate time. But what is important is that the EA has already started training. Before making more mistakes, before making more mistakes, the mistakes that they already have. The current U.S. regime has to acknowledge that they have adopted the wrong policy. That their policy was
Did anyone from the administration, President Secretary Pompeo, try to reach out in any way to you, to guide Did he send any sort of communication at all?
not without proper response.
What kind of communication was it?
Well, I'll leave it for history to judge his arrogance and ignorance.
Can you tell us what the response was?
The response was a very harsh one from my office, not from me, from my office, indicating to him how wrong he was.
Are you concerned that a strong response from Iran will end in an all-out war?
Well, it depends on the United States. The United States took an act of war against Iran. It will have to be prepared for the consequences. Then it will have to decide whether it wants to get itself into a quagmire or whether it wants to stop. I think the United States has been compounding mistake upon mistake. The maximum pressure policy didn't work. If they believe people were cheering in the streets of Iran and Iraq for the death of Soleimani, that's because they believe it. Pompeo tweeted that. That's what I call ignorance combined with arrogance. Now they saw the sea of people, sea of humanity, that Trump had never seen in his life, even in his inauguration.
Can you tell me where the nuclear deal stands at this point? Will you effectively pull out altogether?
No, the nuclear deal was carefully negotiated. It wasn't negotiated based on trust. It was negotiated based on mistrust. And that is why we have modalities for addressing cases of non-compliance. The United States withdrew from the deal, started imposing pressure not only on other members of the group, but also and then the Europeans were not able to have their own both the commitments they had made in the deal and the commitments that they had made. Iran is entitled in the deal. In the deal, Iran is entitled will take care of the immediate issue. And we did. And as soon as Europe, we don't want to talk about the United States anymore, but as soon as Europe recognizes its own interests and decides to stand up for its own interests, we can reverse all the measures that we have taken. And we said it, National Security Council, and it's clear message that we sent to the Europeans. The deal is in a very difficult situation, but the man and must have.
Do you have any message to
In fact, did a lot to protect the American people under without him, we would have had a different scenario of that. But the government is taking to the arrest and taking charge of their own destiny.
any message to Donald Trump?
We should stop going on this path. Will not help. Stop listening to arrogant, ignorant people.
Thank you, Foreign Minister. Appreciate it.
Good for you.
I'm Michael Raddatz reporting for ABC News Live from Tehran.
ABC News, straightforward.
Good evening. We come on the air tonight with breaking news coming into ABC News just moments ago. U.S. officials now telling ABC News that Iran has fired ballistic missiles from inside Iran at U.S. military facilities inside Iran. Specifically, the U.S. military base in western Iraq has no information about casualties. Of course, those U.S. military bases targets in Iraq. That is where President Trump ordered to carry out that deadly strike on Iran's top commander. I want to bring in our senior foreign correspondent, Ian Fennell, following this breaking news. He's live in Iraq for us tonight. And Ian, you were telling us that you actually heard something not long ago.
Capturing the objective. Yeah, that's right. This was about 5:45 Eastern time, local time. It was much later in the evening. We heard two distinct explosions in the vicinity of Erbil in northern Iraq. But as you say, we're getting those reports that there have been multiple strikes on a base in western Iraq. Now, the main base in that part of the country is the Ain Assad base. It's home to a large number of U.S. troops as well as Iraqi troops. The IRGC, the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Command, has also announced through Iranian state TV that it has conducted an operation. That news still coming in right now.
And of course, Ian, that particular military facility on heightened alert, as we knew that Iran was threatening retaliation, and Iran had indicated that perhaps these retaliatory strikes would occur at U.S. military facilities.
Yes, that's right. We've also seen a repositioning of U.S. forces, for example, Al-Balad base, north of Baghdad, south of here. We heard earlier this evening that a number of U.S. troops had relocated away from that base, so there's been a large-scale repositioning of U.S. forces. They've been settling in, trying to defend themselves. But this shows that the threats that have been coming from Iran, if these reports turn out to be accurate, and that certainly seems to be the case right now, it shows that Iran is true to its word. Question now, how will the U.S. retaliate? What will be seen as a major provocation by Iran?
Of course, for those of you joining us right now, Ian, thank you. We'll come back to you just as soon as you know more. For those of you joining us for World News Tonight, at this hour we have just learned U.S. officials telling ABC News that Iran has kept its promise to retaliate after that deadly drone strike on Iran's top commander, saying that Iran has fired ballistic missiles from inside Iran into Iraq, into U.S. military facilities, particularly that U.S. military base in western Iraq. I do not know if there was in fact more than one target. This information coming in just as we were coming on the air tonight. I do want to bring in our Chief Global Affairs Correspondent, Martha Raddatz. She is live in Iran tonight. Ms. Martha, you conducted an interview with Iran's foreign minister just today who said the U.S. will pay for the act of war.
He certainly did. WK told me just hours ago that they would take action against the United States. He said Iran is very patient. We will do it at a time and place of our choosing. So this has been very rapid if this does indeed turn out to be true. He said he would hit targets, U.S. targets, where it hurt the most. I asked him what he meant about by that. He said they would not hit civilian targets. I said, does that mean you will hit military targets? He said that's what the military wants to do, but we will determine that at a future date. But again, here in Tehran, they are confirming that missiles were launched.